Oh, oh, oh. Welcome to Meaningful Morning. Today's May 5th. So, what was yesterday? May 4th. May the Force be with you. How many of you have any idea what I'm talking about right now? Okay, good. Lots of nerdy people like me. May the Force be with you. The fact that you're hearing these words being spoken proves that this is a fact. Please reflect on that. The 8 billion humans in the world, how many of them are actually hearing that there is a force, that force is with them? You hearing these words proves this. I think I shared with all of you that we recently bought a Toyota RAV4. So I was trying to explain to my kids there's a difference between a brand and a car. So I was sharing that a RAV4 is a car, but the brand is Toyota. And Shika was like, yes, a toy Yoda. A toy Yoda made the RAV4. One of the most important verses of this chapter is verse 45. In this verse, Sri Krishna has shared through swadhyaya, that is self-reflection, getting to know yourself, meaningful mornings, that triggers or pulls swabhava. You get to know your inner world. What causes you stress? What are your desires? What are your ideals? Understanding, knowing your swabhava pulls or triggers swakarma. Based on my inner world, I now have an outer world, actions, responsibilities that will help me to change my inner world, to not have stress, to not have desires, to go beyond an ideal. Swakarma pulls or triggers swadharma, where you come to be your nature. In this chapter that is called moksha, please see the flow of these 4 words: swadhyaya, swabhava, swakarma, swadharma. What a lovely verse. So much help for us. This is all in relation to the 8th system, which is on composition. The composition of what you are, your inner world, or swabhava. There are thinkers, in Sanskrit, brahmanas. In the Yaksha Prashna, that's another portion of the Mahabharata, one of the questions is, what makes one a thinker? And 4 options are given. Okay, you have to vote. Option 1 is your family, as in your birth, makes you a Brahmana. Number 2 is your values, your value system that you follow. That is option 2. Option 3, it is your study. How much you read, how much you write, that determines if you're a Brahmana. And finally, it is your knowledge, as in you've studied and you've written, now you can teach this, and you know the meanings of these words. So your 4 options again are family, values, study, knowledge. What makes one a thinker? How many of you vote number 1? You're born into this. Number 3, how much you read and write, that makes you a thinker. Number 4, how much you can teach and explain, that makes you a thinker. Number 2, the value system that you follow through in and live by. See, there's rigged elections outside, there's rigged elections inside too. It is what you live that makes you a Brahmana or thinker. There's no externality. Another composition is a leader. If you remember Bhagavad Gita's chapter 2, Shri Krishna had shared with Prince Arjuna, the way to be fearless is VCR. Know vastness. Then you'll be fearless. He came down in his messaging to know change. If you know all is going to change, you fear it less. Then he came down more, know responsibility. Prince Arjuna, it is your responsibility to protect. For a leader, they are very clear that their responsibility is to be protected and to protect. The third is a mobilizer. Only the mobilizers are ones who can save profit. Please remember, saving should be synonymous with sharing. It is those who save profit that are to distribute this to the workers, to the leaders, to the thinkers. And the fourth is the worker. Shri Krishna uses a lovely word to describe the Shudra. Paricharya. Paricharya means the one who finds value in serving others. I'm sharing these 4 classifications of compositions because all are needed in society, and really all of us engage in these different compositions in different times. Sometimes you are a worker, maybe you're a thinker. I had heard someone introduce Pujaswami Tejomayananda as being the best of all 4 of these. Best thinker, best leader, best mobilizer, best worker. We should be introduced in the same. A couple of more thoughts before we move on to verse 46. When you engage in swadhyaya, by which you come to feel your swabhava, you're introspecting, and so now you know your inner world. For the person who invests in this getting to know their inner world, and then they align their swakarma. This is my inner world. I'm going to align my outer world that will help me to evolve my inner world. They don't need to change anything. Sometimes we feel like I have to say no to this, I have to escape over there, I have to renounce this. But if you know your inner world and you have created your outer world that is helping this evolution, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to change anything. Your responsibility is your catalyst to evolution. That's why this verse is so important. And a final reflection for anyone who's resolving to live their responsibilities because they feel this is their yoga, their path. Ujjwami Tejomayananda had shared, if everyone follows their responsibilities, then everyone's rights will be met. There's such a fight for rights now in terms of Gaza, in terms of women's rights, etc. This has happened because people are not following through with their responsibility to live for everyone. Responsibilities are missing, so rights are missing. But based on verses 42, 43, 44, 45, if people lived by this, everyone's rights would be fulfilled. Shri Krishna accentuates verse 45 in verse 46. Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. Joy. Yataha, from whom, pravritti here means change, evolution, bhutanam, all beings. The one who causes the change, the betterment, the yoga, the evolution of all beings. Shri Krishna's stipulation here is, as you go about your responsibilities, what is your intention? He's accentuating the previous verse that your intention should be for the one who's causing everyone's welfare. Okay? Let me go to the second quarter, then I'll add some more reflections. So the one who causes this change, he also shares, yena, by whom, sarvam, all, idam tatam, is pervaded by. Your responsibility should be filled with the intention, you are doing this for the one who causes evolution, you are doing this for the one who is pervading all. This morning in my one-with-one, and our seeker will be listening to the recording, I shared with her, please remember, Bhagwan is looking at you. That's the second quarter. And so Bhagwan is looking after you. That's the first quarter. In Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the most consistent teachings is, all has emerged from divinity, all exists in divinity, and all will end in divinity. That's what's stated in this first line. The one who is all, the one who benefits all. Here's another reflection. If we think of the source of us, there is consciousness, which expresses as the creator, which expresses as creation, which expresses as creature, as in the individual. Consciousness, creator, creation, creature. One's intention should be for the source. I am a creature. My responsibilities should be filled with the intention that I'm doing this for creation. Better than that is creator, but the best is consciousness. I want to use some Sanskrit words here for us to reflect on more. A jiva should be living for the jagata. But as you reflect on the jagata, that same jiva starts to live for the jagadishvara. And as one reflects on this more, that same jiva starts to live for joy. I couldn't find a Sanskrit word that starts with J for joy, so I just use joy. Swakarmana tam abhyarcha. Your responsibilities should be treated as worship. Pujaswami Chinmayananda is famous for saying, work is worship. We made it work is worry, but it should be work is worship. And Pujaswami Tejomayananda had shared, the evolution of one's intention, the lowest intention is you're doing what you're doing for gain. More evolved than that, you're doing what you're doing because it's your duty. It's almost like I've set up breakfast for our kids because Sheila's on vacation. And the way they eat breakfast, it's like it's their duty. They don't want to eat breakfast. I'm essentially forcing it into them. Better than that is you do what you do because you love what you do and you love whom you're doing this for. Pujaswami Tejomayananda said the best intention is this is your worship. See, the difference is we love lots of people. I love my kids. Maybe they love me. But worship is reserved for divinity. Gain, duty, love, worship, abhyarcha. And finally, siddhim vindati manavaha. Humans, you, vindati, will gain siddhim, your fulfillment. You will complete being a human. Tomorrow I'll share with all of you how this last quarter relates to vasanas. The 3 ways to be free of vasanas. From inspiration to application, your application was to rate how verse 45 describes you. How many of you are satisfied with you are treating your responsibilities as your path? By show of hands. Good. One way you will know that you are treating your responsibilities as your path is you will feel less jealousy. Okay, if you want a strong sign of you living verse 45, is you feel less jealousy. Your application for this morning is, I want you to explain verse 45 to 3 people today. I've explained verse 45, I think, to all of you twice now. Now I want you to do the same to 3 people. Okay? Shanti, shanti, shanti hi, be joy.